welcome to the 45th Annual Spring Convocation at the University of Regina. My name is Glennis Sylvester. I'm the University Secretary, and I'll be your MC this afternoon. I'm pleased to welcome you to today's ceremony. It's wonderful that you're taking time to be here with your family and friends to celebrate your graduates' achievement. Today, you will witness them receiving their degrees, diplomas, and certificates. I'd like to give you an overview of the celebrations this afternoon. The convocation ceremony is rich with tradition. We have a number of special guests who will be here on the stage. The Chancellor will open convocation. We will introduce and present our honorary degree recipients. Following the presentation, our president will give the convocation address. And then the graduates, one by one, will be hooded by their dean. They will be introduced. They'll be admitted by the chancellor and then congratulated by the president. During the presentation of the graduates, a few students may be hooded by someone other than their dean. That's because the university allows platform party members to hood a person in their immediate family. In a moment, I'll ask you to rise and welcome the graduates of this session of the 45th Annual Spring Convocation. Following the entrance of the platform party, I'll ask you to please remain standing for the singing of O Canada. Now it's my pleasure to welcome the Lone Creek Cultural Club. They will perform the honor song as the platform party comes onto the stage. This song is used to honor our warriors upon a successful mission. It includes such things as a vision quest, a hunt, and in this modern age, the pursuit of a university degree. The graduates today represent our modern-day warriors in this celebration of receiving their certificates, degrees, and diplomas. And this honor song recognizes these graduates as our future leaders. It's customary to present a gift of tobacco to the musicians as a thank you for participating in our convocation ceremony. And I'd like to invite Burl Keshwadam to receive this gift. For those who are able, please rise and welcome the graduates of the Spring 2019 Convocation.
Hey!
join in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté le pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée, tes plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I would like to call on Dr. Bob Casius, Vice President Academic, First Nations, University of Canada, to lead us in a moment of reflection. Please remain standing.
Thank you. Today is a day of significance for all of us who are gathered here. At such a time, it is only natural and fitting that we reflect on what has brought us together in this place and for this brief moment in time. As we look to the future, we cannot help but think about the past and how it has shaped us. Family, friends, loved ones, even people we have never met, all have played an important role in our individual journeys and in our collective journey. Some of them are in this room today, some could not be here, and some are no longer with us. Before we go our separate ways, it is incumbent on us to express our gratitude to them. We have much for which we should be thankful, and many to thank for everything they have provided us as individuals, families, and a university. With that in mind, I invite you to join me and to join each other in a moment of silent reflection and gratitude. Thank you for celebrating Convocation with us.
Thank you, Dr. Casius. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the special guests who will take part in this afternoon's ceremony. I would ask them to please rise as they are introduced and remain standing until I have completed the introductions. And I'll ask that the audience please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Mr. James D'Arcy, Registrar and Orator. Dr. Lisa Watson, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies and Research and Orator. Dr. Gina Grandy, Dean of Business Administration. Dr. Jerome Cranston, Dean of Education. Dr. Richard Clear, Dean of Arts. Dr. David Gregory, Dean of Nursing. Dr. Douglas Faranick, Dean of Science. Dr. Harvey King, Director of the Center of Continuing Education. Dr. Nilgan Onder, Associate Vice President, Academic. Dr. Kathleen McNutt, Interim Vice President, Research. Dr. Thomas Chase, Provost and Vice President, Academic. Dr. Vianne Timmons, President and Vice Chancellor. Dr. Jim Tompkins, Chancellor. Mr. Mark McLaughlin, Deputy Minister, Advanced Education. Ms. Kathy Warner, Chair, Board of Governors. Ms. Lisa Mitchell, Associate Vice President, University Advancement and Communications. Ms. Barbara Ryan, Honorary Degree Candidate. Dr. Stephen King, Senior Researcher to the President. Mr. Jonathan Ryan, Honorary Degree Candidate. Ms. Lisa Robertson, Director of Sport, Community Engagement, and Athlete Development. Dr. Bob Casius, Vice President Academic, First Nations University of Canada. Dr. Barbara Young, City of Regina. Ms. Patricia Thompson, Designate from the University of Regina Alumni Association. I will now ask members of the platform party seated in both wings to please stand. These people are members of the University Senate, Board of Governors, former honorary degree recipients, faculty, and members of the leadership team. Let's welcome them to this afternoon's ceremony.
Good afternoon, everyone. Deputy Minister, Madam President, Councillor Young, colleagues, graduates, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the University of Regina's 45th Spring Convocation. Technically, Convocation is a ceremony at which graduates of the university receive the degrees, diplomas, and certificates they have earned. But to my mind, Convocation is more than just a ceremony, but rather an occasion, the whole experience of being with friends and family to celebrate someone's graduation, along with the hugs and the laughter and tears of joy and parties that form an essential part of that celebration. These emotions and get-togethers are part and parcel of Convocation. The 3 sessions of Convocation this week will recognize more than 2,200 graduates. Among them are 6 accomplished individuals who will honor the university by accepting honorary degrees. All will become alumni of the University of Regina, joining more than 70,000 previous graduates. I must admit to feeling a bit wistful this afternoon, and I beg your indulgence of a few personal reflections. This week's Convocation is a bittersweet occasion for me because it is my final one as Chancellor. Serving in this role for the past 6 years has been a privilege and a very rewarding experience, and the time really seems to have flown by. But provincial law wisely restricts the Chancellor's time in office to 6 years because it's only right and just that others have the opportunity to serve in this role. My service as Chancellor will conclude at the end of this month, exactly 50 years to the day from when I joined the faculty of the Department of Mathematics at the University of Regina, or the University of Saskatchewan Regina campus, as it was then called. At that time, in 1969, the university consisted of a handful of new buildings strewn across a patch of bald prairie, educating about 4,000 students. A far cry from today's beautifully landscaped campus, 15,500 students, and a rich and growing record of achievement and meaningful contributions to our community, local, national, and global. These changes in just my working lifetime are astonishing and give me confidence that the reputation and accomplishments of the University of Regina will continue to grow as the future unfolds. Again, welcome. I now declare the first session of the 45th Annual Spring Convocation of the University of Regina open.
Eminent Chancellor Tompkins, President Timmins, Deputy Minister McLaughlin, members of our Board of Governors and Senate, graduates, academic colleagues, staff, students, and of course you, our family and friends. Today, you are witness to something very special. Not only are you here to see these students achieve what they have worked so hard to accomplish, but today is also the first time ever that a mother and son will receive honorary degrees from the University of Regina. Barb Ryan and her son John are receiving this recognition together this afternoon. And so today it is my distinct honor to introduce the mother of this duo, a most deserving honorary degree recipient, Barb Ryan. The University of Regina's motto is, "As one who serves." Barb is a living example of this motto. She exemplifies the very best in what our honorary degree recipients represent. She lives with integrity. She demonstrates great passion. She is community-minded in all that she does. Simply stated, she's a force of kindness and goodwill in the community of Regina. Barb is a mother of 4, a grandmother of 12. She faced her most significant personal challenge with the loss of her husband after a short battle with cancer when he was only 54 years old. At the time of his passing, her children had already all left home, and she had the opportunity to truly feel and process her grief, and she understood that grief is only love with no place to go. And so, with the need to find an outlet for the love she had left to give, she began to reach out to the community. Since then, Barb has played an important and very special role in the lives of many refugees, immigrants, and international students in Regina. She was moved by the stories she heard of immigrant families starting new lives in Regina with nothing more than the clothes they were wearing and the family that they had with them. She not only wanted to help, she will tell you that she felt that she needed to help. She became actively involved with the Regina Open Door Society. Not only did she open her heart, but she also opened her home. Barb hosted 2 families from Africa, and she's done the same for a refugee family from Syria, a family with 8 family members. She is involved with Women to Women, a support group for newcomers to Canada, which teaches new Canadians skills and crafts. Barb participates with the World University Service of Canada by inviting international students who are away from family into her home to ensure they still have a sense of belonging. She's been a tireless volunteer fundraiser for the Progress Club's Festival of Trees, the Champagne Classic Women's Golf Tournament that raises funds for the Regina General Hospital's Children's Ward, and Barb and her son John and the rest of her family started the Bob Ryan Foundation in honor of her late husband. Proceeds from the foundation go towards buying sports equipment for children who may otherwise not have the opportunity to play sports. She has volunteered and served as a board member for Rancherlo, and the list truly continues. Barb has been the recipient of the New Progression of the Year Award in 2009, the 2012 Diamond Jubilee Award, the Canada 150 Award, the Red Cross Humanitarian Award in 2016, and just this April, she was awarded the Saskatchewan Volunteer Medal. Barb most certainly understands and lives by the motto, "As one who serves." Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Barb Ryan, a woman who truly makes our community a much better place, and I ask that you confer on her the degree of Honorary Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Of this province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I consent to admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
So well. I'll hold on to this.
Eminent Chancellor, President Timmins, Deputy Minister McLaughlin, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, graduates, faculty, staff, students, and family and friends. It is my honor today to introduce our second honorary degree recipient, Mr. John Ryan. John was born and raised in Regina. He played running back, place kicker, and punter for Sheldon Williams, for the Sheldon Williams Spartans. And then he went on to play wide receiver and punter for 4 seasons with our University of Regina Rams. During his university career, John collected 3 Canada West All-Stars and was twice named a first-team All-Canadian. From Regina, he took his talents to the pros. He spent 2 seasons as a punter with the CFL's Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And then he went south to the NFL. He played 2 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, followed by 10 years with the Seattle Seahawks, including a Super Bowl championship in 2014. His time with the NFL ended in 2018, in the summer of 2018. But not before John joined a select group of players who appeared in more than 200 NFL games. He will, though, for sports fans, be forever immortalized with his touchdown pass. Remember, he's a punter that sparked a comeback playoff victory to ensure the Seattle Seahawks a berth to the 2015 Super Bowl. That toss, yes, exactly. That toss also earned John a place in the NFL record books as the first punter to throw a touchdown pass ever in an NFL playoff game. So it goes without saying that we are thrilled to have him back home in Regina to throw some touchdown passes for the Riders. His storied athletic career aside, John's work off the field deserves equal celebration. He is an outspoken supporter of the LGBTQ+ community. By example, his strong response to the Pulse nightclub shootings in 2016, he said, "I'm a believer in equality and that people should not be discriminated against on the basis of their race, sexuality, or any other characteristic." In addition, John founded the Gear Up through his John Ryan Foundation in Saskatchewan. The foundation initially provided proper equipment for younger players playing tackle football and more training for coaches to improve player safety. It has since expanded to other communities across Saskatchewan, and it's including support to start up teams in the northern parts of this province. John credits his behind-the-scenes work to his wife, actress and comedian Sarah Colin, members of his family, and some local business people for the foundation's success and in making football more accessible to young people. Mr. John Ryan has shone on the gridiron and in the community. He is a champion football athlete and a champion human being. I thank you, John. The University of Regina thanks you. And the sport of football in Saskatchewan thanks you. You are a wonderful choice for an honorary doctorate. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Mr. John Ryan, and I ask that you confer on him the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I consent to admit you to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Barb, come on up so we'll do it together. Get a picture together. The 3 of us, mother and son. On this side. Barb, hold this. Now look at this, first time ever in the history of the university, mother and son. Thank you.
I have to get you to sign something. Barbara. She to sign right here. Wonderful.
All right. President Timmons, eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Board of Governors, fellow honorary degree recipient, my mother, Barb Ryan, graduates, family, and friends. This is really freaking cool. Yeah. Thank you, and good afternoon. This is such a great honor. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. But what makes this most special to me is that I get to accept this degree next to my mom. If I can just give back a tenth of what she's given to this city and this community, I will consider my life a success. Graduates, this is a day you will never forget. It is today that you will start paying back your student loans. But congratulations. We are also fortunate that we were able to attend such an amazing university. This university changed my life, and I hope that has changed yours. I'm not going to stand up here and lie to you and tell you that I was a great student. Many of the staff that are still here from when I was here, they can attest to that. But with that being said, I learned so much from being here, from so many great professors and coaches. One of the greatest amateur football coaches in the history of Canada, Frank McChrystal, who coached me for the Rams, taught me that no dream was too big. It didn't matter where you were from. It was about what you were doing to better yourself wherever you were at that moment. Longtime economics professor, the late Dr. Alex Kelly, who I believe taught at the U of R for over 40 years, once told me that there are only 3 things in this life worth doing for over 30 or 40 years. And they were sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And when a 75-year-old man tells you that, you listen. But really what he was trying to teach me is not to take life too seriously and have fun. When I first got to the U of R, I needed quite a bit of academic help. Statistics professor, Dr. Sean Fallett, taught me that it was okay to ask for help. I'll never forget how much he helped me to get through his class. Now being over 15 years removed from the University of Regina, I can tell you that when you look back on what you've learned here, it'll go far beyond the facts you picked up from textbooks or from lectures. You'll look back and cherish the relationships you had here and the life skills you took away from them. You'll always hold those closest to your heart. Now, graduates, if I could give you 3 pieces of advice now that you're all graduates, the first thing that I would tell you is the most rewarding thing you can do in life is to give back. We've all been given so much from this community that when you find yourself in the position to do so, give back. It doesn't have to be financially, but just doing something for someone who hasn't been as fortunate as you. And if you need help finding something, just contact my mother. You'll be hauling a truck full of used furniture across town to a more needy family before noon, I can promise you that. Secondly, in life, only potential is free. All of you graduates have a tremendous amount of potential, but now it's time to put in the work and the sacrifice to achieve your goals and your dreams. And lastly, as a ginger, the most important advice I can give to you is always wear sunscreen SPF 50 or better. Thank you.
President Timmons, eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Board of Governors,
fellow honorary recipient, my son John Ryan, as you know, graduates, family, and friends. Oprah's guru, Maya Angelou, once said, "Your legacy is every life that you've touched." And I have to say, I've touched a lot of lives. It's the reason I'm here today. I've received many special, meaningful awards, and it's so nice to be acknowledged. To receive this award with John at my side, well, that's the ultimate. What started out as volunteering as a host through Open Door has blossomed into so much more. Through my involvement with Open Door and Regina Wascana Club, I was given an insight into something that truly amazed me, the plight of refugees. People who've survived the horrors of war, the indignity of a refugee camp, the loss of friends and family, the loss of everything familiar. These dear souls all have a story, a tragic story often, and they've come here for a better life, better education for themselves and their children, for freedom, for good government, for lawfulness, and a life without fear. I've tried to help newcomers in almost every aspect of settling here. I've loved getting to know some families on a very personal level. Some of them have become family to me. A family recently arrived here from Mali, but lived in a refugee camp, lived as refugees for years on the desert in a tent in Niger. They'd eaten nothing but rice and noodles, all have rotten teeth. No one in Regina speaks their language. They came here with just their clothes. They really had nothing in their house at first. What really touched me was my Syrian families got right to work, taking them food, giving kids clothing, helping them in any way they could. It felt like a full circle for me. I'd helped them, and now they were helping others. I was so proud. All the Syrians I've met enjoyed a lovely life in Syria. And in one day, when war struck, it was all gone. They were fleeing for a refugee camp. Several of my Congolese families have similar stories. As well as helping some newcomer families, I've unofficially adopted some university students who came here with the WISC program, World University Services Canada. I really enjoy my role of mom to them, filling in for some amazing moms still behind in the Middle East. This week, as my doctoral award was announced, I received congratulations from right across Canada, from family and friends, and perhaps the most special, from some of my refugee families and their families, still in harm's way. From Germany, Syria, Lebanon, and a camp in Zambia, Africa. It's these relationships and the fact that I have 4 awesome kids married to wonderful partners and 12 grandkids, that will be my legacy. The thing is, through all of my efforts, my labor of love, I've got back more than I could ever have given. My volunteer work has given me something different, something I needed. I've really grown from learning about their situations, learned how lucky I am to live in Canada. I've gone to several Canadian citizenship ceremonies and look forward to more. I love them. I love to see the pride, their love for their new country. Knowing what they have gone through to get to this point is just so special. My life is full and lovely, and I wake up each day inspired and excited about the idea of making a difference in someone's life. My advice to the graduates would be to get out there and get involved. I can guarantee you know someone who's lonely. A newcomer has a million questions, you know the answers. You don't have to be associated with an organization or a club to get involved. Just dive in and do something. Homework help, a ride to an appointment, a cup of tea, an ear for a sad story. You've all broadened your minds with education. I encourage you to open your hearts, to listen, to understand, to be a friend to someone who needs you. We all have the capacity to make the world a better place. Start your legacy. You're going to love it.
Eminent Chancellor Tompkins, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, Mark McLaughlin, Deputy Minister of Advanced Education, such a strong supporter of post-secondary education. We're thrilled that you're here with us today. Kathy Warner, our board chair, again, who gives endless hours of volunteer time to our university. City of Regina Councillor Dr. Barbara Young, a great advocate. Where's Barbara? A great advocate for our campus. Honorary degree recipients, Dr. John Ryan, a sports hero, and Dr. Barb Ryan, a community hero. Such an inspiration. Your accomplishments and your service to others is compelling. Graduates, academic colleagues, staff, students, family, and friends, thank you so much for joining us on this special day, a day in which we celebrate the achievement of your graduates. I'd like to acknowledge that your university, the University of Regina, is located on Treaty 4 territory with a presence in Treaty 6. This is the ancestral home of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota peoples, and the traditional homeland of the Métis. It's such an important part of our past, but more importantly, it's a part of our students and our children's future. When I think about our university's future, I can't help but think of its past and the many people throughout its history who have helped the University of Regina develop into the institution it is today. One of these people is here with us, and I must make special mention of him. Chancellor Dr. Jim Tompkins. Will you stand so we can acknowledge you, Dr. Tompkins? Do you know, he's too modest to admit it, but Dr. Tompkins may have quietly had a bigger impact on our university than any other person. As he mentioned earlier, he began work here as a mathematical faculty member exactly 50 years ago, before most of you were even born, right? 50 years ago, in 1969. Over the past 50 years, Dr. Tompkins has served the university in many capacities: as a teacher, as a researcher, as vice president administration, and as my predecessor, as a president, where he mentored me and taught me so much. In fact, Dr. Tompkins' service dates back further than 50 years, to the very origins of our main campus. You know, when he was in high school in early 1960s, he worked for the concrete company that poured the foundations of the first buildings on main campus. That was the laboratory and classroom buildings. He quite literally helped lay the foundation of this university, and his roots run deep. For the past 6 years, he has served as our Chancellor, overseeing the academic programs that all of our students have undertaken. And although many of you do not know it, behind the scenes, he played a major role in helping you all get here today. And together, he and his wife, Dr. Lynn Tompkins, have supported countless student initiatives, student scholarships, student programs at this university, including supporting the revitalization of our college campus. Again, can we take a moment to recognize Chancellor Tompkins' long-standing and dedicated service to your university and to all of our students. To you, our graduates, you're the future leaders of our city, our province, our nation, and our world. Having lived, worked, and studied here at our university, you are now citizens of the world, talented people who have the skills, knowledge, and values to make a positive difference in the lives of others, just as our 2 honorary degree recipients have. You are important to this university, and you join a family of more than 75,000 alumni, and I hope that the University of Regina will always remain an important part of your life. Today, we celebrate your success because you've accomplished so much. You spent the past several years working hard to get here today. Do you remember studying late at night? Remember that? What about those wonderful group assignments? Did you love all that teamwork? Writing exams. Now you love the exams, right? Working on labs, sacrificing important times you could have been spending with your family and friends. It was worth it, because today you are here, receiving your degrees. Well done, graduates. We're so proud of you and so honored to have played even a tiny part in your journey. Before you cross the stage to get your degrees, I'm going to take this opportunity to say a few words to each group of the graduating students. First of all, with the students earning a graduate degree from the Faculty of Grad Studies and Research, please stand. You're a very impressive looking group, let me tell you. Through your original paths of study, you've taken your university education to the next level. You've pursued new avenues of thought, and in doing so, you've gained new perspectives on the world. And these perspectives will serve you well, but will also serve society well. Because in the coming years, you are going to use your wisdom to accomplish important things. You are the leaders on our campus. You are the leaders in our community. You are the leaders in our nation. And in the years to come, please continue to lead by using your education to make a positive impact on the lives of others. You will make a difference for so many. Thank you for choosing the University of Regina to pursue your graduate degree. Thank you. Now, could the graduates from the Faculty of Business Administration please stand? You are also a very impressive looking group of people. You're a diverse group of graduates, but I hope that in the coming years you'll be united by one thing, your desire to be not just business leaders, but also community leaders who play a key role in addressing issues like inclusion, gender equity, fairness, compassion for others and our most vulnerable. Throughout your lives, you'll do well to follow the example set by one of today's honorary degree recipients, Dr. Barb Ryan, a woman who values community, lives in service of others, promotes compassion and respect for those around us. By following Dr. Ryan's, actually both Dr. Ryan's examples, you will be our next generation of business and community leaders. You're a group of talented young people. I know you care deeply for others, and you will transform the world for better. We need business leaders who are humane. We need business leaders who think broadly. We need business leaders who make a difference. We need you. Thank you for choosing business administration as your field of study. Thank you. Would the graduates from the Faculty of Education please stand? As a teacher myself, I paid special attention to how our profession has transformed in recent decades. What you have learned during your course of degree is different from what I learned nearly 40 years ago, and our students will benefit a great deal from the expertise you have. As dramatic as these transformations have been, however, I believe that one thing will never change: the inherent nobility of the teaching profession. I'm going to repeat that. I love that. The inherent nobility of the teaching profession, whose tradition you carry on. As our future teachers and administrators, you have selflessly committed yourself to serving and mentoring future generations of students. There is nothing more noble than this, and no one more better equipped than you to help our youth realize their potential in a world, in a changing world that needs your positive influence more than ever. Thank you for teaching our children to be kind, to be curious, to be warm and loving, and to be compassionate to others, just as each of you. And thank you for choosing education as your path. Thank you. Graduates, I want to thank you for choosing the University of Regina as your university. Today is your day, a day to reflect on all your hard work and to look forward to the future. But perhaps most of all, it's a day of joy, a day of celebration, Enjoy the moment, and congratulations on all your success.
Eminent Chancellor, I present to you the graduates to be named, on whom you have conferred the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
The authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I have admitted you to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and have invested you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. I now charge you to use these powers, rights, and privileges with honor and integrity as one who serves.
Before we present the first group of students, I would like to acknowledge the achievement of the graduates whose names appear in the official program but who are not present at today's ceremony. Please join me in acknowledging these graduates.
Eminent Chancellor, with your permission, the Doctor of Philosophy is the highest academic degree our university offers. As much of an honor as it is for these scholars to have received the degree, it is also a great honor and proud moment for the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research to acknowledge their outstanding accomplishments. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research and the Dean, Dr. Nicholas Jones, I present you these scholars. Doctor of Philosophy, Tammy Ferguson. Adeyemi Ogunadi.
I admit you. Congratulations.
Joanne Weber. Master of Administration, Angela Arthur. Heidi Blumert. Stella Nadi.
I admit you.
Christiana Okafor.
I admit you.
Lori Smith.
I admit you.
Master of Adult Education, Holly Doyle.
I admit you.
Stephanie Grand.
I admit you.
Dean Lafave.
I admit you.
Melinda Pelletier.
I admit you.
Kathy Ziegler. Master of Business Administration, Trent Bleasy. Jessica Davis.
I admit you. I admit you.
Shauna Enns.
I admit you.
Dharmesh Gandhi.
I admit you.
Funmileo Babi Bo.
I admit you.
Peter Giebert. Danielle
I admit you.
Morin.
I admit you.
Timothy Otitoju.
I admit you.
Chandrakant Rain. Sha Yi Rong.
I admit you.
Yo Chen Song. Alyssa Stoic.
I admit.
Matthew Wainert. Master of Education, Ilyana Akbar.
I admit you.
Jody Backhart.
I admit you.
Cam Bahia.
I admit you.
Sapna Banjatri. Kelsey Clausen.
I admit you.
Lisa Cooper.
I admit you.
Pauline Copeland.
I admit you.
Channing Delgaman.
I admit
Amy Ferguson.
I admit you.
Sage Fox.
I admit you.
Sonia Gobi.
I admit you.
Allison Gritzfeld.
I admit you.
Ashley Haas.
I admit you.
Amber Klatt.
I admit you.
Randine Lamontagne.
I admit you.
Krista McKillen.
I
Jessica Moser.
I admit you.
Kelsey Novak.
I admit you.
Tara Quinney.
I admit you.
Caitlin Rosenkrantz.
I admit you.
Rhonda Stevenson.
I admit you.
Nitu Kumara Tamboli. Richard Wade Cummings.
I admit you.
Melissa Wasilo.
I admit you.
Jana Wallach.
I admit you.
Master of Indigenous Education, Kim Sadowski.
I admit you.
Master of Health Administration, Lorraine K. Barnes. Rebecca Durkett.
I admit you.
Christina Gibbs.
I admit you.
Shiana Mora. Joanne Turcott.
I admit you.
Bethany Volek.
I admit you.
Master of Human Resource Development, Isa Guillama.
I admit you.
Master of Human Resource Management, Aldanuri Agdi Dumsi.
I admit you.
Sherry Lynn Bebo. Alyssa Kerr. Paula Attini.
I admit you.
Luca Hora Bas Avarachapa Korkada.
I admit you.
Meenakshi Kudahar.
I admit you.
Miriam Oka.
I admit you.
Alyssa Sullivan.
I admit you.
Kadeen Taylor. Master of Public Administration, Anne Adefoye. Elizabeth Amoa Darko.
I admit you.
Melanie Cote. Wilfred Eze. Matthew Glover.
I admit you.
Darren Gryczowski.
I admit you.
Rochelle Leonard.
I admit you.
Chantel Levy.
I admit you.
Shalar Mamadov.
I admit you.
Zoya Mitchell.
I admit you.
Titus Ojo.
I admit you.
Abiodan Oilami.
I admit you.
Priyanka Roy.
I admit you.
Roshal Huk Sakat.
I admit you.
Prabhajit Kaur Sidhu.
I admit you.
Bradley Smart. Jordan Stamatinos.
I admit you.
Kathana Stewart.
I admit you.
Jinikachi Ugwabu.
I admit you.
Duo Xiao.
I admit you.
Master of Public Policy, Derek Callan.
I admit you.
Moses Gordon. Master's Certificate, Nanyi Ajitar.
I admit you.
Toluwalsi Balaji.
I admit you.
Abdel Rashman El Sabah.
I admit you.
Marion Mayer.
I admit you.
Anushri Singh.
I admit you.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Business Administration and the Dean, Dr. Regina Grandi, I present to you these scholars. Bachelor of Administration, Marcel Heichert. Lori McAdam.
I admit you.
Tracy McLeod.
I admit you.
Celeste Pelletier.
I admit you.
Bachelor of Business Administration, Carson Aim.
I admit you.
O'Shea Akinwale.
I admit you.
Samir Ali.
I admit you.
Morgan Ament.
I admit you.
Jade Abelquist, with distinction and also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Christina Arsenal.
I admit you.
Madison Ajibawas.
I admit you.
David Baliski, also receiving a certificate in hospitality, tourism, and gaming, and a certificate in public
I
relations.
admit you.
Nolan Benesh.
I admit you.
Samantha Bergenston.
I admit you.
Kristen Bowen.
I admit
Ryan Barassa, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Spencer Brightman.
I admit you.
Ryan Bryden.
I admit you.
Amy Campbell, also receiving a certificate in nonprofit sector leadership and innovation.
I admit you.
Chicha Chen, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Natasha Cherwinski.
I admit you.
Brendan Schmelnicki.
I admit you.
Connor Clark.
I admit you.
Sydney Dalrymple, also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Amanda Daly.
I admit you.
Rhett Danilik, also receiving a certificate in economics and a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Christy Duran, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Roa L. Bakush.
I admit
Dylan Elgert, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Charisse Esplin, with distinction.
I admit you.
Tristan Firth, also receiving a certificate in public relations. Kayla Forbes, with great distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Taylor Franks.
I admit you.
Adam Fuchs, also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Garrett Gates, with distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Nicoletta Generas, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Alexander Gray.
I admit you.
Junbong Ha.
I admit you.
Laura Hyde.
I admit you.
Courtney Harlos, also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Elizabeth Hart.
I admit you.
Alexia Hartness, with distinction.
I admit you.
Indira Helfrich Linarco.
I admit you.
Heather Hildebrandt, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Jeffrey Hubick, with distinction.
I admit you.
Jenna Humphreys.
I admit you.
Rachel Hushi, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Elizabeth Huang, with distinction.
I admit you.
Kelsey Jensen.
I admit you.
Darian Johnson, with distinction.
I admit you.
Davin Johnston.
I admit you.
Brianne Kelly.
I admit you.
Jade Kerr, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Haley Kazama.
I admit you.
Kira Kirkham Palmer.
I admit you.
Corey Koslowski, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Kelsey Kreklowicz, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Sarah Kreklowicz, with great distinction and also receiving a certificate in nonprofit sector leadership and innovation.
I admit you.
Alyssa Krupski, with distinction.
I admit you.
Aaron Kwong.
I admit you.
Hannah Langton.
I admit you.
Lasha Lazurko.
I admit you.
Leah Legrand, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Yingye Lee.
I admit you.
Marissa Lorenz, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Mo Lu.
I admit you.
Brooklyn McNack.
I admit you.
Kara Mays, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Caden McEachern, with distinction.
I admit you.
Mikala Morbader, with distinction and also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Judy Nguyen. Francis Odom, with distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics. Justin Palmier, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Shubham Patel, also receiving a certificate in liberal arts.
I admit you.
Matthew Plishka.
I admit you.
Taryn Rapp, with great distinction and also receiving a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Kelsey Rock, with distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Maria Shuttler.
I admit you.
Corbin Senchuk.
I admit you.
Hannah Senekar, with distinction and also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Han Jung Saw. Carson Sinclair.
I admit you.
Mason Sliva with distinction.
I admit you.
Linaya Smale.
I admit you.
Mitchell Smith with, well, I'm sorry, I need a drink of water. There we go. Mitchell Schmidt with distinction. That's better.
I admit you.
Natalia Smith.
I admit you.
Ryland Smith, also receiving a certificate in economics and a certificate in public relations.
I admit you.
Jordan Spitsky, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Irene Stamatinos with distinction.
I admit you.
Michaela Stranger with great distinction.
I admit you.
Brandy Stoyne, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Lawrence Sweda Off.
I admit you.
Ryland Switzer, also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Ween Ta.
I admit you.
Kelsey Terrian.
I admit you.
Athan Usmani. Sorry.
I admit you.
Braylon Beeson with distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics.
I admit you.
Miao Bai Wang with distinction.
I admit you.
Logan Warner.
I admit you.
Connor Welk.
I admit you.
Caitlin Wheeler.
I admit you.
Carly Wild.
I admit you.
Harrison Whittle.
I admit you.
Michelle Woloshin.
I admit you.
Tate Rubleski.
I admit you.
Ismahan Youssef.
I admit you.
Brendan Zubanek with distinction and also receiving a certificate in economics. Diploma of Administration. Marie Brown. April Robillard. Samantha Williams. Diploma of Business Administration. Kapil Anand.
Congratulations.
Radhika Bansal.
Congratulations.
Jaspreet Kaur Ular.
Congratulations.
Martin Borney.
Congratulations.
Inderjit Brar.
Congratulations.
Jane Christopher.
Congratulations.
Jiawen Dang.
Congratulations.
Madison Dorkson.
Congratulations.
Ruwen Fang.
Congratulations.
Taryn Fremantle. Justin James.
Congratulations.
Marley Jober.
Congratulations.
Gagantrit Kaur.
Congratulations.
Gazalpreet Kaur.
Congratulations.
Manpreet Kaur.
Congratulations.
Karen Pasternak.
Congratulations.
Scott Rossetti.
Congratulations.
Kelsey Rattray.
Congratulations.
Ravinder Sidhu.
Congratulations.
Karam Paul Singh.
Congratulations.
Yvette Sitter.
Congratulations.
Alisa Tobrowski, also receiving certificates in Administration Level 1 and 2.
Congratulations.
Naomi Woods.
Congratulations.
Eminent Chancellor, I present Amy Fong. Amy is receiving a Bachelor of Business Administration in Marketing with great distinction. Amy is also the recipient of both the Leon Goldman Scholarship, which is awarded to the most distinguished graduate from the Faculty of Business Administration receiving a first degree, and the Faculty of Business Administration Dean's Medal.
Mitchell, congratulations. Well done.
I'm just going to take that right away and then learn from it. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Education and Dean Dr. Jerome Cranston, I present to you these scholars. Baccalaureate en Éducation, Annie Anapak Kowo, with distinction.
I admit you.
Danica Bolak, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Kubran Jean Danny, with great distinction.
Admit you.
Diombu Diop, with distinction.
I admit you.
Brianne Froze, with distinction.
I admit you.
Tyler Henry, also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Rachel Hussey, with great distinction and also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Marianne Istifo, also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Aidan McKeague, with distinction.
I admit you.
Claude Mouvla.
I admit you.
Paul Nahondakirira.
I admit you.
Akoline Nainandwi, with distinction.
I admit you.
Amy Poirier, with distinction and also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Cassidy Zacharias, with distinction.
I admit you.
Kimber Zahar, also receiving a Bachelor of Arts.
I admit you.
Bachelor of Education, Amira Abdulhadi, with distinction.
I admit you.
Elise Anderson, also receiving a Bachelor of Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Courtney Anderson,
I admit you.
Emma Anderson,
I admit you.
Christian Andrews,
I admit you.
Riley Arsenault,
I admit you.
Morgan Odette,
I admit you.
Matthew Baber,
I admit you.
Garrett Bates,
I admit you.
Cassie Bauer,
I admit you.
Aline Bautista Chernick, with distinction.
I admit you.
Jemima Bay,
I admit you.
Shannon Benninger,
I admit you.
Carly Beitler,
I admit you.
Cody Beaver, with distinction.
I admit you.
Taylor Block,
I admit you.
Sydney Boyd,
I admit you.
Bailey Braden, with distinction.
I admit you.
Jayla Brinkworth,
I admit you.
Abby Bristow, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Samantha Burnett,
I admit you.
Sarah Burns, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Elizabeth Chernick,
I admit you.
Brett Cottrell, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Zachary Cowper,
I admit you.
Marissa Cuddington,
I admit you.
Lindsay DeMarsh, with distinction.
I admit you.
Carla Donaldson,
I admit you.
Jill Doyle,
I admit you.
Braden Drager,
I admit you.
Robin Dick, with distinction.
I admit you.
Anessa Eckert, with distinction.
I admit you.
Ann Elder,
I admit you.
Jaden Evans, with distinction.
I admit you.
Amanda Ewart, with distinction.
I admit you.
Ian Fiddler,
I admit you.
Kyla Fidelic, with distinction.
I admit you.
Sunny Facette,
I admit you.
Caitlin Fisher,
I admit you.
Erin Flory,
I admit you.
Vanessa Friesen,
I admit you.
Shyla Froshog, with distinction.
I admit you.
Reagan Fulmick, with distinction.
I admit you.
Taylor Gammercy.
I admit you.
Megan Gattinger, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Melanie George.
I admit you.
Matthew Gottsling, with distinction.
I admit you.
Mackenzie Grad, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Addison Halbert.
I admit you.
Brittany Hanna.
I admit you.
Keandra Hanna.
I admit you.
Tara Hansen, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Jordan Harley, with distinction.
I admit you.
Courtney Hawkins.
I admit you.
Ashley Heggs.
I admit you.
Ali Hendren, with distinction and also receiving a Bachelor of Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Chloe Jortland.
I admit you.
Dallas Holtby, with distinction.
I admit you.
Sean Hooper, with distinction.
I admit you.
Kylie Howard, with distinction.
I admit you.
Carly Huffnagel.
I admit you.
Justin Eisinger, also receiving a Bachelor of Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Rochelle Ismond, with distinction.
I admit you.
Diana Jensen.
I admit you.
Jens Johnson.
I admit you.
Darian Kazis.
I admit you.
Alexandria Kay, with distinction.
I admit you.
Stephanie Kay, with distinction.
I admit you.
Tammy Cowan, with distinction and also receiving a Certificate of Extended Studies in Inclusive Education.
I admit you.
Shayna Kemp.
I admit you.
Alyssa Coolin, with distinction.
I admit you.
Ho-Jung Kim, with distinction.
I admit you.
Aaliyah Kistner.
I admit you.
Frederick Kohutch.
I admit you.
Keegan Kozak.
I admit you.
Samantha Louch, with distinction.
I admit you.
Taylor Lugner.
I admit you.
Mackenzie Lowe's.
I admit you.
Amaya Lusick, with distinction.
I admit you.
Paige Lyons.
I admit you.
Tiana McDonald, with distinction.
I admit you.
Jenna Magnuson.
I admit you.
Katerina Malagrida.
I admit you.
Theodore Malagrida, with distinction.
I admit you.
Maitland Mallow.
I admit you.
Brooklyn Monti.
I admit you.
Janae Marr.
I admit you.
Melissa McCormick, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Connor McEwen, with distinction.
I admit you.
Lindsay McNabb, with distinction.
I admit you.
Alexandra McNabb Sinclair, with distinction.
I admit you.
Catherine McNulty, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Miranda McPhee, with great distinction.
I admit you.
April Menke. Hillary Mercier.
I admit you.
J. Lee Michelle.
I admit you.
Danielle Miller.
I admit you.
Shyla Mills, with distinction.
I admit you.
Carly Malberg.
I admit you.
Jenna Neufeld.
I admit you.
Jonah Norman Gray.
I admit you.
Omat, also receiving a Bachelor in Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Barbara Owens, with distinction.
I admit you.
Mackenzie Partridge.
I admit you.
Jaden Patterson.
I admit you.
Alyssa Pelche.
I admit you.
Tyra Pelche.
I admit you.
Tiffany Pyatt.
I admit you.
Savannah Penfold.
I admit you.
Janae Prediger.
I admit you.
Casey Preston, with distinction.
I admit you.
Christina Prost, also receiving a Bachelor of Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Taylor Robbie.
I admit you.
Holly Robinson, with distinction.
I admit you.
Hannah Romansky.
I admit you.
Shelby Rowlands.
I admit you.
Aiden Roy.
I admit you.
Sarah Salazar, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Ryan Salter, with distinction.
I admit you.
Monique Salud.
I admit you.
Daniel Santa.
I admit you.
Lanice Starbuck.
I admit you.
Janice Slosher.
I admit you.
Tessa Schmitz, with distinction.
I admit you.
Brooklyn Selinger.
I admit you.
Corey Selinger, with distinction.
I admit you.
Ivy Sheward.
I admit you.
Brooke Simpson.
I admit you.
Ray Singleton, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Richard Slauson, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Caitlin Smid.
I admit you.
Karina Spilchuk, with distinction.
I admit you.
Mackenzie Stam.
I admit you.
Chantel Stanger, also receiving a certificate in liberal arts and a diploma in liberal arts. Candace Stenko.
I admit you.
Danielle Saint-Jacques, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Alexandra Taylor, with distinction.
I admit you.
Zach Taylor.
I admit you.
Mackenzie Thompson, with distinction.
I admit you.
Kim Tui, with distinction.
I admit you.
Claire Tucker.
I admit you.
Zanera Tour.
I admit you.
Tresley Turan Bouvier, with great distinction.
Two.
Sarah Vatamanek.
I admit you.
Chelsea Vanderbush.
I admit you.
Haley Wagman.
I admit you.
Jacqueline Walbaum.
I admit you.
Tiana Waldbauer, with distinction.
I admit you.
Kristen Wallington, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Tricia Wallington, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Siobhan Ward.
I admit you.
Mitchell Washkowski, with distinction.
I admit you.
Adam Watts.
I admit you.
Rachel Waycott.
I admit you.
Alexa Westby, with distinction.
I admit you.
William Witten, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Rebecca Waynes.
I admit you.
Dana Wilbraham, with great distinction.
I admit you.
Stasha Wisniewski Starkle.
I admit you.
Kyla Wolf.
I admit you.
Megan Woodard.
I admit you.
Peyton Worth, with distinction.
I admit you.
Hannah Marie Wasminity.
I admit you.
Caitlin Zacharias, with distinction and also receiving a Bachelor of Kinesiology.
I admit you.
Courtney Zenner, with distinction.
I admit you.
Bachelor of Education, Indigenous Education. Jennifer Kazagan.
I admit you.
Crystal Kashane, with distinction.
I admit you.
Cheryl Melcredy.
I admit you.
Jaron Musqua.
I admit you.
Jordan Sampson.
I admit you.
Kristara Shingus.
I admit you.
Erica Watson Daniels.
I admit you.
Bachelor of Music Education, Dahlia Martin, also receiving a Bachelor of Music.
I admit you.
Eminent Chancellor, I present Samantha Deck. Samantha is receiving a Bachelor of Education, Elementary Education, with great distinction. Samantha is also the recipient of the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation Prize, which is awarded to the most distinguished graduate of the Faculty of Education receiving a first degree. Samantha Deck, with great distinction.
I admit you. Congratulations.
Old eyes. It is my honor to be here today. I respectfully acknowledge Eminent Chancellor Tompkins, President Timmons, Deputy Minister of Advanced Education Mark McLaughlin, City Councillor Barbara Young, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, honorary degree recipients Dr. Jonathan Ryan and Dr. Barbara Ryan, graduates, honored guests, faculty, students, fellow alumni, family, and friends. I have 3 things to say to the graduates. You are amazing. You worked hard and earned an important credential of the University of Regina degree, evidence that you have the skills and the strength of character to achieve your next goals. We are excited to welcome you to one of the Saskatchewan's largest communities, the University of Regina Alumni. As you move ahead, remember that you are not alone. There are more than 75,000 alumni on your side. Help us shape the university, sharing your time, knowledge, and passion with the students and graduates of tomorrow. At the same time, take advantage of the many academic, cultural, and athletic programs, networking opportunities, benefits, and services offered exclusively to the alumni. Sign up for an alumni library card and remember to visit the degree frames booth after the ceremony today to have your parchment framed while you wait. On behalf of the University of Regina Alumni Association, I wish you the best of luck and officially welcome you to the club. Thank you.
We will now present the award to the Governor General's Academic Gold Medalist.
Good afternoon, everyone. The Governor General's Academic Gold Medal recognizes the outstanding academic performance of a graduate student. The decision of the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research Scholarship Awards Committee is based on the quality of the thesis or exhibition, external examiners' reports, quality of the defense, coursework, cumulative grade point average, publications, and presentations deriving directly from the research done for the thesis or exhibition, and on other awards achieved. At the 2019 Spring Convocation, the recipient is Dr. Joanne Weber. Dr. Weber, receiving a Doctor of Philosophy in Education, graduates with an average of 89.83. Her supervisor, Dr. Fatima Perhai-Illik, says that Dr. Weber's dissertation project titled Becoming Deaf in the Posthuman Era, Posthumanism, Arts-Based Research in Deaf Education is an original contribution in the interdisciplinary fields of sociology of education, education philosophy, language and literacy education, and certainly in deaf education. This is cutting-edge, radical pedagogy for the deaf and hard of hearing. She has a passion and desire to work towards ameliorating the harms and violence in the K-12 system that have been perpetuated on young adolescents, just like her, who's been marginalized through the system. Dr. Weber says that she applied a new theory to teaching deaf teens who struggle to learn spoken and written English. Since they don't have full access to a first language, spoken or written, they're somewhat between a mother tongue and a second language. Often their struggle to achieve fluency in speaking, reading, and writing English to the same level as their hearing peers would be described to innate or cognitive deficits. She explored her own transition to becoming a teacher and researcher, moving alongside the students in their multiple interactions. Using this theory, she was able to see how interactions with animals, earth, and machine unleashed an enormous energy in the students, enabling them to become competent and engaged learners and to increase their language repertoires, self-confidence, and engagement with school curricular. Dr. Weber completed both her coursework, project, and dissertation within 4.5 years, while also working full-time for the Regina Public School Board as the only deaf educator for the deaf in the province of Saskatchewan. Her defense... Absolutely. Her defense went so well, she was offered a position in an international research consortium housed at the University of British Columbia. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Weber on this amazing achievement and all she's done and will do for our community.
So, amazing. I'm going to ask you to applause for Joanne like this, so she can see all of your support. Thank you. Everyone, today is a day of celebration, one where we honor a group of people who've worked so hard and for so many years to get to this moment. Today, those of you who are here in the audience to celebrate your children's, your grandchildren's, or maybe your partner or your friend's accomplishments, we thank you for coming. It's a time to enjoy, and a time also for you to take a moment to celebrate what you have contributed to this day. Many of you have sacrificed financially, time-wise, support, wiped those tears to make this day a reality for your loved one. You should be proud of your graduates and of the role you played in their success. Graduates, can we take a moment to acknowledge the impact your family and friends have had on your academic career? To the faculty and staff at the University of Regina, you have also had an impact on our graduate successes. And many of you have worked behind the scenes to make today's convocation ceremony a reality. Graduates, let's thank the faculty and staff for all they have done for you. To everyone here, in the months and years to come, remember this is your university. Be proud of its history, be optimistic about its future, but most of all, be proud of these graduates as they serve our communities and make a positive impact on our world. In closing, I would like all of you to direct your attention to the screens while we play a video that celebrates our university. I hope it will also serve as a reminder to our graduates and maybe to some of their parents in the audience of the time that you have spent on our campus. The music entitled Futures in Flight was composed by University of Regina alumnus Todd Brighton. The photography and multimedia coordination was done by the University of Regina Photography Department and our AV services. Enjoy, and thank you again for celebrating Convocation with us. Thank you, everyone.
I now declare this session of the 45th Annual Spring Convocation of the University of Regina closed.